We got a little run here when I was showing you guys different techniques for spraying clear coat. I did a couple coats here, too many, got a little run. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to sand out this run and polish out this run. Now, I've got one of these little Kovac blocks. I'll leave links in the description if it's something you're interested in. This is a piece of 1200 grit sandpaper. This is the perfect length to block out this run. So let's just go ahead and block it out. We're not gonna go anywhere where there's not a run. We wanna just knock down the high areas. I started to shave it already just so you guys could see where the run was at. But see how it's coming out here? I'm gonna show you the whole process from sanding it out to buffing it to a high gloss. You could use a coarser sandpaper if you wanted. I'm just using this 1200 because this is what I have on hand for this block. Might take a little bit more time with this 1200, but it's okay because then we don't have to remove a coarser scratch. So if I used a 600, you could use 600. That would cut it a little bit quicker. Could use a razor blade trick, but I only like, this was painted yesterday, so it's a little soft for the razor blade. You really want to have your clear coat be fully cured, pretty much fully cured. It's got to be really hard to do that razor blade. Now, I'm staying away from that body line. I don't want to get on that body line because the clear coat's going to be thinner there. For this, I'm going to use a piece of 3M 2000 grit sandpaper. Just some water. We'll spray it down. I've got a soft block in here. So this is going to remove those 1200 grit scratches. Then what we'll do is go over it with some 3000, and for that I'm going to use some trizact 3000. And that works on a DA. Now you can do it by hand if you choose. Let's wipe it down, take a look at it. Okay, so I have an orbital sander here. This is with a hook it pad. I've got some 3000 here. This is trizact 3000. It's like a foam pad, and it's going to refine those 2000 grit scratches. You can use this by hand. You don't have to use air. Now I'm going to use the DA, but you could use this pad by hand. Now these are a little bit expensive, but you're not going to need that many of them if you're doing your vehicle. And this is the best way to make it really easy to buff, especially with black. We'll wet it down good. Wet the pad down. You want to go at a medium speed. You don't want to have this thing ramped up all the way. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. So let the sandpaper do the work. I've got a small amount of pressure on it. This is 5000 trizact. You don't have to use this. You could polish it out with 2000 if you want. After I did the 2000 step, you could polish that. It's just going to be a little bit tougher to buff. And I have these so I can quickly go over them with these to refine these scratches even more. So it's a lot easier to polish out, especially with black. Black's a little bit more difficult to polish. Every scratch shows up with black. Okay, let's wipe it down. And you can see how that 5000 basically almost gave it a little bit of a gloss, a little bit of a shine. Let's go ahead and polish this out. Vevor sent me over this orbital buffer. It comes in this kit. It's got different style pads for different cutting situations. All these pads cut differently. Some are for fine scratches, some are for more coarse. This is a wool pad. I think this is a medium cut pad, and then the white is for, that's a medium, I'm sorry, the white is a medium cut. The orange is a heavy cut, and then this is a polishing pad, and that's what we're gonna use because it's for fine scratches. Now, an orbital style buffer is a little bit more user-friendly than a rotary style. A rotary style spins in one direction. There is a learning curve to that kind of buffer. It's a lot easier to burn through your paint if you're buffing with a rotary style buffer. So an orbital buffer is good to have in your shop. It does a real good job at doing the fine polishing. Rotary style buffers cut just a little bit better, but for polishing, this is the one to have. And this one runs just under $100, so it's a pretty decent value, and I've been using it. It works really well. I think it's styled after the Roops style buffer, and those are very expensive buffers. They run around $500, $400 to $500, where this is just under $100. So this is a good thing to have in your garage. Might be something you want to check out if you're looking for a polisher. I use the CSI polish. I like this polish because it doesn't have a lot of fillers. So once you buff and polish it and wipe it off, there's no fillers in those scratches that are filling the scratches to make it look good. You wipe it off and that's how it looks. Oh, we just put a couple dots on here. This is probably too much, but we're just gonna spread it around here. Work it in. I'm gonna start this off at 1 or minimum. I'm just going to make several passes. Turn it up just a little bit. Dare says this buffer seems quieter than the other one, because I have another orbital buffer. There's a little bit of vibration with it, you know, but that's to be expected. Pretty good. I like it. Yeah, Vevor. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description if it's something you're interested in, if you're looking for an orbital buffer. All right, let's wipe this down and see how it looks. Now, you got to get it in the light to see if there's any scratches left. There's what it looks like. I'll do a before and after. I'll put the before up there. There's a little imperfection right here, but that's how you wet sand and buff out a run. Pretty much totally gone. There's a few little imperfections in there, but for the most part, that looks great. Now you could buff and polish your whole bedside like that. I've got a few little particles of dust I'm going to go ahead and take care of on the rest of this bedside.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. To learn more, click on this video now. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we'll see you next time on Garage Noise.